Welcome to Mystic Underground, where I'll be bringing you detailed reports at the beginning of each new episode. Today, I bring you the story of the wreck on the Wabash. This history isn't for the faint of heart, so be advised. Lenawee County, November 27th, 1901. Train number 13 was carrying 2 cars full of Italian immigrants heading westward from New York. Train number 4 was carrying Americans heading home for Thanksgiving towards Detroit. Long story short, due to delays, both trains received new orders at 6 p.m. before heading along their routes. Train number 4 was supposed to stop at Seneca and wait for train number 13 to pass by. But Engineer Strong took train 4 right past Seneca going 65 miles per hour. The brakeman applied the rear brakes at the last moment, knowing of the engineer's grave mistake. There was only enough time for Strong and the firemen to leap from the cab seconds before impact, leaving everyone else to suffer the consequences of his carelessness. All of the cars on Train 4 survived except for the day coach, which telescoped and killed all inside. Train 13's baggage car and the 2 full of immigrants took the full force of the collision and were annihilated on impact. But the worst was yet to come, as a fire soon ignited beneath those cars and the remaining survivors were trapped inside with the flames. The Wabash Railroad line tried to quickly downplay the number of deaths, and has for many years. In some accounts, Engineer Strong blamed a gust of wind for blowing a corner of the orders, and said he only saw Sand Creek, not Seneca. Other accounts said the names Sand Creek and Seneca sound similar. There was also blame that the new electric lights made it hard to tell if the other train was stationary or moving. Excuses are just words, and words can't bring back those who suffered. If you, the viewer, want to read about every detail as it happened, there are many news reports and even a book on the matter. We will always bring you these stories as closely as we can depict them, but there are always extra details out there in the vast history of each land. The important thing to note is that this is one of the worst train crashes and death tolls in U.S. history, and nobody should try to hide or bury that past. This is Mystic Underground, where we examine all things paranormal and historic. We're standing at the final resting place where many Italian immigrants and Americans got in the wreck in 1901 between train number 4 and train number 13.
Sadly, not all their bodies were buried here. Some were buried along the tracks where the disaster took place.
5 coffins were brought here with various body parts in them and buried beneath the ground. These are graphic details, but sadly, they're true.
This monument wasn't put up until 2016, 115 years later. What took so long?
Why was the location of the gravesite long forgotten until recent years? This plaque has some of the history of what happened that day in 1901 on Thanksgiving Eve.
We're relieved to see that it says 100 plus Italian immigrants lost their lives that day. Originally, they tried to downplay it to less than 30.
As Wabash and the engineer that conducted that train tried to not take responsibility for all those extra lives. I want to thank the staff at the cemetery, specifically Denny, for allowing us to come here and talk about the history, to spread the word to those that haven't heard this story. People should know the truth, and we want to bring that report to you. This is where it happened, where the 2 trains came together in a head-on collision. The Continental Express, train number 4, was heading northeast toward Detroit and had just crossed over Tuttle Road.
Train number 13 was headed southwest, and the trains met on this side of Bear Creek.
The result? Cars crumpling like soda cans, many erupting into flames.
Many unceremonious burials happened here, just beside this track.
That's why we'll be back to do an overnight investigation and see if we can speak to those poor souls taken far too early.
Yeah, I see him.
Got the possum. We're just getting here. We're on Tuttle Road, and there's a train. It's pretty cool that it happens to be here right when we're getting here. We are here. So here we are on the tracks. I'm going to start getting thermal stuff going right away. See if we pick up any cold deviations or anything abnormal. There's the creek. Kent?
Nothing on the thermal?
Nothing on the thermal so far. I'm going to get the creek again in this mode. Nothing on the thermal. Totally clear.
All cold.
All freezing.
Are you ready to try EMF? Sound recorder?
Yeah, we'll try an EMF here in just a moment. Kent's getting the EMF ready. Yeah, that makes it really bright, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's not turning off.
As Kent gets the EMF ready, just going to look up the tracks here. This is the IR flashlight. So this is without. It's really hard to see. This is with the IR flashlight. Totally invisible to the naked eye.
Alright, about to turn on the EMF.
Alright.
We're ready.
So we can go ahead and start asking questions.
Are there any spirits with us here tonight? Are the members of the train crash here with us? Please let us know. Nothing so far.
It's green.
It's dead quiet.
Are there any Italian immigrants with us here tonight that got in the wreck in 1901?
Here's your chance to tell your story.
You can tell us about the suffering that you went through.
The suffering you went through as the train collided on this side of the track, on this side of Bear Creek.
In 115 years with no memorial.
You must want to tell your story now. You can tell it to us. We're here to listen. Nothing so far.
It's green.
Are there any spirits here that were buried along the tracks?
This is Bear Creek. This is right where it happened. Train number 4 came right over these tracks here and met train number 13. Total tragedy.
If you're here with us, please set off this EMF so we can help tell your story. Little bleep.
Little bleep. What did it go up to, the yellow?
Yeah, I think so.
We hope that all spirits were able to move on and be happy. If there's any spirits here with us, can you please set off this device? This will read your energy. Nothing but cold. Frigid cold.
Freezing cold.
It's probably what, 25 degrees out here today. So we're pretty cold, we're pretty frozen. Unfortunately on nights like this we won't be able to do a full night investigation. Obviously we'd be frozen by morning. So we'll give it our best chance, and if we don't catch anything now, we'll definitely be coming back for a full overnight investigation during the summer. So we'll see what we can get tonight. Are there any spirits here with us now? It just went off.
It did.
Did you see it?
Yeah, oh.
It hit red.
I see yellow right now.
It hit red for a second.
Still going right now.
Is there a spirit here with us? Was that a spirit that set off this device? We come in peace, we're friendlies, we just want to tell your story. It was right when I asked that question too. Are there any spirits here with us? And it went to red for a second.
Yeah. I saw it peak at orange for the longest time.
Alright, let's just go ahead and get out a recorder and see if we pick anything up. We won't stay out here too long. It's freezing.
It's below freezing.
So cold out here, man.
The wind is blowing nice.
I have a tape recorder here. If there are any spirits that got in the wreck in 1901, can you please speak into this recorder? Can you tell us about that day?
Can you tell us your name?
Can you tell us what train you were on when they collided? Can you tell us the names of the trains and the numbers of the trains? Can you tell us who the conductor was?
Are you mad at the engineer?
Can you tell us what month and day that the accident took place? Can you tell us the name of this creek? Were you buried here? Alright, so we're heading out of here. It's really cold out. It's just over 20 degrees. And there's only so much you can do for an overnight investigation when it's this cold. You do what you can, and that's about all you can do.
Yeah, we tried. We got some hits, but wishing we can stay longer. But
we're gonna listen to the tape recorder and see if we picked anything up on the tape recorder, and go from there. Ultimately, I hope no spirits are here. You know, I hope no ghosts are trapped behind, hanging around on the train tracks. I hope they all found peace and went on to a better life. You know, I hope they're all up in heaven. That would be my hope. But we come out here to do our due diligence and see if there's any spirits left behind. Alright guys, so we're breaking down the recording here, and Kent and I listened a few times with different headphones, and we kept hearing something weird, two different things. So come over here, I'll show you what we've picked up so far. Can you tell us the names of the trains and the numbers of the trains? Alright, so right at the end here, first off, you'll hear a whoop, whoop. It's a little hard to hear, but listen. Whoop, whoop. We did not hear anything when we were out there whatsoever. Can you tell us the names of the trains and the numbers of the trains? Okay, now this is a really strange glitch. So watch this. Watch these two things here and listen. Okay, now watch this. If I move this over, watch what you'll hear that wasn't there before. Can you tell us? My vocal is suddenly in there. I'll play it one more time for you. My vocal somehow gets right here, even though this is the same exact as this. Can you tell us? Yet then if I bring it over here, my vocal disappears. Makes no sense to me. This is an exact copy, exact replica of this. Look at that. And if I move it here, it's gone. Move it here. You hear the vocal. Move it over one. It's gone. All right, now I'll show you the other thing.
are you mad at the engineer?
That's what happened right after Kent asked that question.
Are you mad at the engineer?
We broke down the background noise, got rid of it. This is what it sounded like without. I'll play the whole thing again.
Are you mad at the engineer?
This is how it sounded. That's with no background noise. Sounds like a direct answer to whatever Kent asked. We just cannot break down what it says. We actually listen. You cannot hear our breathing throughout the entire recording. Not at all, because we were too far away from it and we're not breathing heavy. But this was picked up. We can't debunk it. So it's interesting, to say the least. Also, upon review, we noticed this strange flash in the window. This was while driving 35 to 40 miles per hour. As you'll note in this next clip, signs can clearly be seen going past the entire window. Could this be a spirit or a depiction of the monument from the wreck on the Wabash? Oh, you're still here? If you're in Michigan or Ohio and have something paranormal for us to investigate, shoot me a message at the email below. And until the next video drops, see you on the next one. You guys hear that? Sometimes a book's so good it hits you right in the face. Oh, that one hurt, man. That was the hard side.